everyone, my name is Chris. I'm the Camping Stitcher. Welcome to my channel. It is Sunday, January 25th, 2026. Snowmageddon is happening outside right now. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, thanks. It is crazy. We're a large part of us are getting a major snowstorm right now, so I hope you're safe and cozied up and well supplied in your house and stitching, watching Flosstube, watching movies. We're ready. I don't mind the snow. I'm excited. I love a good snowstorm. I don't like the ice. I don't like the sleet. And they're saying we might get some of that later, so fingers crossed none of us get it, because I know some people already have power outages. So far so good, knock on wood. We're still powered up. Jenny's ready. Water's put up. Food's gotten. We do our food shopping on Thursdays. So it was a little crazy on Thursday, but not as crazy as I heard it got later in the week. There were some strange things that were not on the shelves. Like my husband was like, there's no tater tots. But everything else seemed fine, and I don't know how that was later on. But anyways, I hope you're safe. Hope you're snuggled up and riding out the storm. They're saying, they keep saying different amounts. Right now, I think we're at 10 to 16. And it's so funny because they had forecasted 12 to 18, and I actually got disappointed when they downgraded it. Who gets disappointed about a foot of snow? Nobody. So anyway, enjoy it. And I hope it's nothing to be upset about. Fingers crossed. Anyways, I have some finishes, and I have some whips, and I have a little knitting. I have a campfire story. What else? A little bit of sewing, and just a tiny bit of haul, which is like weird for me. I know I usually have a lot more, but I have 2 gift certificates that I haven't used yet. So I don't know what I'm holding on to them. I'm waiting for some fabric to get into stock and stuff. So just trying to be patient. I have actually ordered from the attic. They announced they were releasing the Plum Street America's 250th exclusive that they had for a retreat. They are releasing it to everybody. You need to go check out their Flosstube. They do have an Instagram post about it. You can order it. They have several different ways you can get it. You can get just the chart. You can get the chart and the fabric and the cottons, the chart, the fabric, cotton, silks. I chose just the chart and the overdyed cottons. And I finally got through to them and paid for my order, so don't know when it's shipping, but I know they're working hard at getting those out to people. What else? I think that's about it for, oh, I am very close, getting very close, under 75 subscribers to 7,000 subscribers here on YouTube. So I wanted to let you know that I will be doing a really nice giveaway when I hit 7,000 subscribers. And it will be a project bag. And there's 7 charts in here, plus one of them is a full kit. So if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. You need to be a public subscriber. And if you can like, comment, I really appreciate the likes and the comments. It's so funny. I don't really check on like there's a way that you can look at your channel and you can check and see how many dislikes you get, and I don't really check on that. And I don't know how I stumbled across it, because it's really not easy to find. And I stumbled across the you have to kind of like smush your screen over and you could see your thumbs up and your thumbs down. And it's so funny, on every single one, most of my videos, I have 1 dislike. So there's like 1 person at any given time that just hits a thumbs down, and that's okay. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. It's all good, but I never noticed that before. Anyway, this will be a giveaway coming up. Like I said, I have less than 75 people to go, and I needed more people before the last Flosstube, before the whip parade. So I wanted to say thank you for all the lovely comments on my whip parade. You guys are really so supportive and nice, and I'm glad that you saw something that you liked. So, okay, let's jump right in, finally. What do we got here? 5 minutes in. Jibber jabber. Book of days. I've been good. I stitch every day. I am stitching a little bit slower nowadays. I do have a visit with a cataract surgeon coming up. I had some trouble with my eyes. I went for my checkup, and I had 2 eye appointments a week apart because they thought, well, maybe it's the dry eye, and you do have cataracts, but maybe it's the dry eye that's, you know, interfering with us getting a good prescription on you, and it's not. So I will probably be having cataract surgery, at least on my right eye, if not both. I know they like to do both. That's what the eye doctor said. So I don't know what that all entails, and I did have LASIK like 23 years ago. Unfortunately, I don't have my records. I know they do a ton of tests, but they do say they like to have those records as to the correction they did. So I don't have that information. Apparently they were lost in a flood. So if you have experience with cataract surgery and what you chose as your correction, or if you had LASIK and you didn't have your records and they figured it out, let me know in the comments, because I could use a little reassurance. I know it's really, if you could pick things that go wrong or need to be fixed, that's nothing. So I'm good. But it's a little, if you haven't gone through it, it's a little unknown. Anyway, okay, so I did show you the book of days, stitched every day. I am taking it slower. I take a lot of breaks. I'm doing a lot of eye drops. So I'm not designing as much because computer time is a little bit harder. I had 2 designs that I was working on, and I just went, you know what? It's okay. It's all right. Market's coming up, and everybody else will be looking at that stuff. But I did get a few things done. Hopefully I have my stuff together here. Okay. Did have a couple of finishes. So, and this one I changed. So if I could tell you how I changed it, that'd be great, wouldn't it? I finished Holiday Stroll by Teresa Kogut. So if you could hear, there's going to be birds because they're nuts this morning. And Sophie is snoring. So she's 16. She's allowed. All right. So this is Holiday Stroll. And I stitched this on 40 count vintage country mocha. Now, if you're looking at this, I'm just going to show you what I changed. My deer is smaller, not as long. I eliminated that tree and that cartouche. And I put in a little extra bit of the border there. I can't tell you what I did because I kind of freehanded it. But there's my finish on Holiday Stroll, and I love it. I love the way it came out. I'm super happy with it. I used all the called for threads, so, but there's the corner. I just brought that corner down because I made the deer not as long. I didn't have as much space on that side, so I just brought the border over and then brought the top border across and down. And that's Holiday Stroll. I think I'm going to do that as like probably an easel finish or some kind of flat finish on some kind of object. Whatever I can find that might look good. but that is Holiday Stroll. I had started that on December 29th and I finished it on January 15th. So it was a pretty fast little stitch. I really like working on the 40 count Zweigarts because I can see them with good light, and they're not hard to see really. And they really do, the stitches look really nice on the 40 count. Plus, if you're looking to conserve a little space on your walls, every little inch helps, right? Okay, and my second finish was Pink Coat Santa from Teresa Kogut. This is like a Teresa Kogut month, kind of. I have all these Santas that I want to stitch, so I want a basket full of Santas for next year. And I am doing Nicole Sfor's Christmas Whip Go along with my regular Whip Go. Okay, so Pink Coat Santa. So if you're looking at this, I did not do the trees, and I did not do that tree or the year, because I am going to finish this as like a stuffy or stand-up. And here he is. This is on 36 count Pillbug from Fox and Rabbit. It was a fabric of the month, and I don't think it's available, but, and it's a really weird color. It's like a gray brown, but I love the way he came out. And I had to do the snowman, because I mean, who doesn't need a snowman friend? But he will be finished as a stuffy, not a stand-up. It's gonna be like basically a pillow, like how the animal crackers are finished, because I'm gonna do that pretty much with all the Santas, I think. So, but that is Pink Coat Santa, and he really, I love the way he came out. I did it on with the called for threads, so I didn't change anything with the threads. But, oh, I did change where I put some of them. So, I don't know if you notice, on his hat and on his scarf, the chart calls for the accent color on his coat, the darker pink, and I chose to use the cherry cobbler because if you look at the front of it, that definitely is darker than, I think the accent color was 3064. It's definitely darker. So, and I wanted it to show up. I thought it made the white on him show up a little bit more too. So, and I like the way this fabric lets the trim on his coat show, because this kind of blended in on the called for. So he's really cute. I'm glad he's done. I've already got another Santa started, so I think it's going to be a Santa year until I get tired of it, I guess, right? You never know what's going to be the thing that gets you. The other finishes I had were, I have a sock finish, which I'll show you. I'm going to intersperse knitting and sewing in this. These socks were started a while ago. I want to say November. The yarn is called Sweet and Savory. The yarn company is Timberland Yarn, and they're in Canada. And this is their twin sock, so it came in 2 small 50-gram balls. I don't care if my stripes, I'm not a matchy-matcher, but I do stitch magic loop one sock at a time. I don't do 2 socks together. I have a project page on Ravelry, which is a site for knitters, crocheters, weavers, spinners. You can go check out the details over there. I do have my own sock recipe I follow, which I've been knitting for years. And I actually had to go like try to remember what I did. So I wrote it down. I wrote it down on this post so that it's always there. But I do toe up. I start at the toe and go up to the cuff. So that's my pair of socks, and I have another pair that I cast on for. I didn't bring them over to show you. And then the other 2 things I finished, actually 3. I think this was a new one. I want to say yes. I made 3 more project bags because I am doing the Christmas whip go. And so my own, kind of like the way I like to do my bags. Tall and a little bit narrow. And I made this one. This is some Acufactum fabric, which I found on Etsy. And there's this one, which is the same one. You know what I decided to do? I decided to make my linings. I have a bunch of Moda cream. I decided to make my linings just cream. Because you know what? I can make another whole project bag sometimes with the linings, a smaller one. But, I mean, it's a lining. I think it's nice to have a pretty lining, but sometimes with darker linings, I lose what's in the bag. It's probably the problem with my eyes, but I figured, hey, I have that whole couple of yards of Moda. Why not use it for linings? So that's what I'm doing. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So that's my finishes and FFOs. I'm checking things off. I want to just make sure that I'm catching all the things. Okay, so now let's go to the whips. So just in case you weren't here before, I do have an ongoing whip tracker. That's from Katie, the Naptime Stitcher. And my oldest whip is considered the Lilies, which you're going to see as one of my whips that I was working on. Oh, I did work on Hooker and Hollow, and I didn't bring it over. So I came into 2026 with, I think, 34, 35. And there's my 2 finishes. I usually highlight them. I try to, when I transfer things over to my book of days, because I cut my book of days apart and bind it. I have a little binder. I try to write, I use a different color for the years. So like there's 2 whips from 2022 and I have 3 from 2023 and so on. So that's why I use different color inks. And then I'll pick a color for 2026 and somehow stay with it. I don't know. But I do have that whip list that I'll add to when I start something new, and I'll highlight when I finish something. And that I'll keep for the whole year. Okay, so what have I been working on? That's a new start. Okay, I did pull out Peace on Earth. And this is, I did mention in my whip parade that I was going to do for myself a motif a week challenge and try to focus on a few pieces. And you guys messaged me, emailed me, and you seem to want to get in with me on this. So we're going to do a motif a week challenge. That's what I'm going to hashtag it. Even though hashtags don't work that well, we're going to hashtag it. Heck with it. So I did pull this out and I started working on the center motif. So that's going to take a little bit longer than a week, but I try to like branch out and do the ones around it. And I did a few more on this. This is Peace on Earth by Leela's Studio. I had it in a hoop and I'm taking it out. But I did do a few more motifs since the last time. I did a letter, and then there's a fox, and I started the center. So here it is. I worked over here, and then the letter, and then this. This is on, I just had it in my hand, 36 count, not another sampler from Bee Stitch Me. And that's where I am. So I try to take this out. This will come out today because I worked on my other focus on Monday, and I'm saving one on Monday, one on Sunday. So this will come out today, and I'll work a little bit on this to get another motif in for the week. I am trying to get more than one done at a time. If I have it out, I'll keep working on it for that day. But I think that'll help me make some more progress on some of these bigger whips that are just not getting much time in on them. So that is one of my motif a week challenges. And the other one is my oldest whip, which is Consider the Lilies by Heartstring Samplery. She's a big one. And I'm not in a rush, obviously, since this has been since 2022. So I'm not going to go and count the motifs and try to split it up with the year. I kind of want to enjoy. I don't want to rush through. You know, I don't know how to explain it. I don't want to just blow right through them and stitch them super fast. So anyway, I picked this up and I had the stems on the tree, or the trunks on the trees. I did this bird, I did the bee scap and the bee, and I put in 3 more flowers. I count them as motifs. So the entire border is done already, so I just have to go in and put the flowers and stems in there. So when this comes out on Monday, I'll be working over here to fill in a little bit more. There's a couple more. It's kind of symmetrical to this side, but different colors. So there's like 1, 2, 3, 4 more motifs that have to go in on that side before I can turn the page there. And that is Consider the Lilies. And this is on, I do have a card in here. Yep. This is on 36 count light mocha. Now, if you have gone to Jingle Ball, you might have seen where Beth was talking about another big sampler, and I fully intend on getting that one. I don't know if I'll do the original, what was the other one? His Eyes on the Sparrow. I'm not sure about that, but this one is supposed to be, I think it was Creatures Great and Small. I think. I could be wrong. If you saw her meet and greet at the Jingle Ball, she spoke about it, and she kind of like did a little sneaky peek. So that might be, if it's got creatures on it, that might be definitely something. Yes. Yes. All right. I did work a tiny bit. This was a new start. This is from my friend Nancy, the Disorderly Stitcher. And oh my gosh, I just love that bag. It's one of my favorites. She posted those in her shop, and I was like, bam. Add to cart. Pay it. Done. In any case, go check out her Etsy shop. This was a new start. When did I start this? This was my Christmas Day start, and it's Season's Greetings from Shakespeare's Peddler. And I love it. And I did get to do a little bit on it. Little tiny bit. What is this on? This is on 36 count doubloon from Picture This Plus. So, oh my gosh. Sophie's like 9 pounds, 9.34 pounds. She snores like me. Anyway, here, I did start this little motif there. And this is in my Christmas basket, which is next to my chair, because I'm doing that Christmas whip go. So pretty. I love the colors. There's just not enough time. Sophie! I've got a ton of birds. I have some feeders right out my window, because the only way that I can really, well, that's not true. I'm lying. We have some feeders in the back, but we keep a close eye on them because, well, right now we're not going to have a bear problem, but usually And I have 2 feeders out my window here, which is like the second, it's not a second story, but it's above the garage, so it's like a second story. And so it's very, very high off the ground and nothing can get to it except the birds. So the feeders are very, very busy today because it is snowing like crazy. So pretty. Plus we had like 6 inches on the ground or 8 inches on the ground from last weekend that we weren't supposed to get. But we got it anyway. Because weather. All right, my next whip is my blessing sampler. So this is, I started with you guys and you have sent me, I just thank you so much for tagging me, the emails, the messages, the DMs. I love seeing everyone's color combinations, the fabrics that you picked, the flosses that you picked, the way that you finished it. It's just so pretty. I am currently working on this, trying to get it done because it will be done. But this is where I am. I've finished my top half. I've got almost the whole bottom border in, and then I have the verse, the phrase, and some of the rest of the alphabet, and it will be done. So I do probably about 5 to 10 strands. I try to get in, not every day, but taking my time with it, but wanting to get it done this week because that's it for January. Can you believe it? So this is on 36 count sand dollar from Be Stitch Me, and I am using Cherry Cobbler from Color and Cotton. That's my floss. Making good progress on that. I just love seeing all your stitches. And it's still selling in the shop. It's not just for January, but I'm really, I made it for everybody who wanted to start a small blessing sampler for the new year. But it's great for a housewarming gift or a gift for yourself. To put in your hallway or something. Cool. I think I have one more whip. And then, I want to say, other than, I did work on Map of Hawker and Hollow, but it was just filling on the bird, on the hawk. So, I don't think you would notice the difference, because I haven't. I'm trying to pull that out on Monday nights. What else? Okay, my new start, which is now a whip, which is the next Santa I'm working on, Blue Coat Santa, and he is a stuffy. I did see somebody who finished it, and they put a little, like his reins, the horse's reins hung down. His, what do they call that? Oh my gosh. I guess it's the reins, right? I am working on this right now. So I'm using the called for salt bush from Fox and Rabbit, except mine's 36 count and not 40. And the called for threads. There they are. This is a combination of Classic Colorworks, Weeks Dye Works, and DMC. And he is cooking right along. I've outlined a lot of his coat. I did the outline of the house, and it'll be good for filling in for Zoom get-togethers with some friends. I haven't been a big outliner in the past, but with the way my eyes are now, when they're good, you know, like when I'm seeing pretty good, I'll outline, and that way I know I could fill in later and not have to worry about counting problems. So, struggle is real. So that's it. This is going to be a quick one, I think. A quick little floss tube. Back to your regularly scheduled programming. All right. So we are ready, but I forgot to make bread yesterday. So I've got bread in the, I use my bread machine to do dough, because every time I cook a loaf of bread or bake a loaf of bread in my bread machine, I curse myself for actually not catching it before the paddles get baked in. It just drives me nuts. So what I tend to do is I tend to use it to make the dough, and then I'll take it out and I'll bake it in the oven, because paddles are driving me nuts on that bread machine. And I've tried everything. Spraying them. They don't like to come out. It's the type of machine it is. All right, so we have, next we have haul, and we have plans. And then the campfire story. So, let's do haul, because it's just 2 things. If you could believe it, because I can't. Yep, just 2 things. I did get the free, the free stitch from Primrose Cottage, but I don't want to show it. If you're not on their newsletter, sign up for it, because every month they give a free cross stitch pattern, and if you sign up for their other newsletter, their quilting newsletter, they give a free quilting. So sign it up. Anyways, I don't think I showed this last time. Pretty sure I didn't. But Country Santa, because like I said, I'm going to have a bucket of Santas. Now, I think he'll be fine as a stuffy. He's just going to be wider. If I include that tree, I think it'll be fine. If not, I'll figure it out. But he's got to be in with his friends. And then I have one planned in the plans. So, all right. And then here is my other... if you want this chart, this is an exclusive through Stitches Unlimited in Lancaster, PA. You have to call them to order it, and they will ship it to you. This was an exclusive by Shakespeare's Peddler, and this is going to be part of my Christmas whip go. I am starting this. I don't know when. It'll be soon. I've been easing up on the starts. As you could see, usually I have finishes. I have a bunch of things to finish, but I just have not. I've been procrastinating. This is pretty big. It's 234 by 235. The called for fabric is 36 count natural. So I'll see, you know, I have some natural, I have some raw. I think is it the same? I have some flax, I have some platinum. And it's Classic Colorworks, DMC, Sampler Threads, and Weeks. So this may be a start. I might just order the fancy floss I don't have and put that in, because I want to start this soon. And that is it for my haul. I think a few things are coming this week, so there'll be more haul next time. I have a pair of Golden Fork scissors coming. I have my fabric of the month from Be Stitch Me, which usually gets here before the end of the month, but not this month. I think January, just being January, and then all the snow we've had. Okay, so that gets me into plans. So my plans are to continue to do my whip go. I've met my whip go goals for January, and she did call the numbers for February. So if you don't know what whip go is, it's like a bingo board, and it was created by Jessie Marie Does Stuff. She has a Flosstube channel. Go check her out. She even has, she has all the videos there as to what whip go is, how you do whip go. She has a Facebook group. You can join that. This is a file from the Facebook group, and I think it was originally 2023 maybe, and I just keep going and up on my own and changing my year. So for February, she called the numbers already because she wasn't sure with the snowstorm affecting so many people. So she called 5 and 22. So my 5 is any seasonal. Aren't I lucky? And 22 is any Christmas. Again, lucky, but that's by design. So I am going to continue with my whip go. And then I have my Christmas whip go, which I fill out when it's called. So 5 and 22, I'll fill it out, and I'll probably, this one is more focused. So I will probably put 2 of my Christmas whips specifically in those 2 slots to work on. And my goal for working on things is to touch it 5 times. So whether that's 5 days or 5 sessions or whatever, that's how my whip goes loosey-goosey. I set it up for success. So, and the other sal, speaking of sals, is my 13 for the 250th, which when I get the Attic exclusive America by Plum Street will be on here. And then I have a whole project bag full of patriotic that I have to catch up, because I haven't stitched on anything patriotic for a while. If I can find patriotic Santas, I could combine both of them. Okay. And the only other challenge I'm doing is the a motif a week challenge. So if you want to join me with that, just pick whatever you want to focus on and do a motif or 3 or 4 a week, whatever floats your boat. I have 2 things I'm going to be starting. Now I do have, I think I have most of the floss, if not all of it, for this one. So I'm starting Let It Snow by Brenda Gervais. That might be a today start. It's just so cute. And the other one I'm going to start, and I think I have most of the, yeah, I think I have most of the floss, is Sweater Weather. Because, oh my god, how cute is he? Sorry for the glare. But yep, starting 2 more things. Probably this is going to be during the week and this today, or vice versa. I don't know. One of these will be started today and one will be started during the week. So that's it for those 2 things. And when I finish Blue Coat Santa, I do have to check and make sure, because I want to do this with the variegated. It's going to be Green Coat Santa. She's still snoring. I can talk. She doesn't care. If I move, she'll wake up. I am going to do the coat with the, I think it's Gentle Arts Bayberry. I think that's what her model stitcher used, because I want that coat variegated. And that'll be in the basket O Santas for next year. I'm going to have a basket. It's going to have Santas in it. They're going to be stuffed. So, and if I have 3, that's awesome. Okay. I have been watching a little bit of Flosstube. I'm trying to think. Have I watched anybody that... I don't think I've watched anybody new. I did watch Red Velvet Quilts had a whip parade. Oh, and I did watch Heidi Stitching Faye. She has 2 whip parades and she'll have a 3rd one. She's doing it by category, so go check her out, Stitching Faye. I'll link her. Who else did I watch? I've been watching a lot of crime TV, Cold Case Files. I've been doing a little bit more reading. I'm trying to get through. I'm on book number 4 of the A Court of Thorns and Roses series. I thought there were 6 books. There's only 5. And I'm like, get going. And I have a whole, I'm on Goodreads. So if you're there, friend me or something, because I'm always looking for good, like, series, cozy mysteries. I try to keep it light. So much is heavy right now. I'm just trying to keep it light. What else? All right, I told you about the Santas, the Whip Go, the Christmas Whip Go, the 13th. Oh, if you haven't heard about the 13th for the 250th sale, that is from Nancy the Disorderly Stitcher and Nancy the Stitcher with the Laughing Face. They both have floss tubes. I will link them in the description box. Go check them out. I'm sure you can join in. It's never too late to get stitching on your patriotic stuff. Trying to think what else. Oh, so there's a new rabbit hole I fell down, and I'm not going to show it to you right now because I've only cut out the pieces and I haven't stitched them yet. But doing some felt appliques, felt stitching type things. So right now I have 2 little mittens cut out. I want to make a bunch of felt ornaments. I have the dies for a bird, an owl, the mittens. I'm trying to think what else. I know I have holly leaves and something else. A penguin. And maybe a bear. And I have that Spellbinder's die cutting machine. Another rabbit hole. Like I needed one. Oh, I did spin up another bunch of yarn. Here is the finished yarn. I use an electric spinner, and I tend to spin on the fingering to sport weight range. So this is my latest. These are totally unlike my colors, but I had it and I said, you're going to spin this up. So it's about, I want to say 200 and something yards. I know I had it written down somewhere, but it'll make a nice scarf or hat, or pair it up with another yarn to make a small shawl. So we'll see. I haven't spun in a few weeks, so my spinning wheel is still out. That was right behind me. See it? See? See? That's my electric spinner. It's a Hanson. Oh, sorry, I just like shook the whole thing. Okay, I think that is it. 42 minutes, and I have a campfire story that I'll tell you. So if you are not sticking around for that, thank you for popping in and spending some time with me. I know there's a lot of floss tubes out there and a lot of stuff to watch. So take care of yourself. I will be back in 2-ish weeks. If I reach the 7,000 subscribers, I will be calling, I will be announcing whatever. I will be saying I'm having a giveaway next Flosstube 81. This is Flosstube 80. So subscribe, like, comment, hype. I don't know what that does. Do you know what hype does? Because I don't know what hype does. Does it do anything? I'm not sure. Share it. I'd appreciate that. Never thought it would go over 100 subscribers, so kind of cool. What else? Okay, I think that's it. Stay warm, stay safe. Do not go out if you don't have to. It's nasty outside. They've already sent the plows up, but I don't think it's safe to be on the roads. So stay home if you can. If you don't need to travel, don't. Have a cup of tea, sit down, stitch something, read something, watch a show. And I will see you in 2-ish weeks. I do have a campfire story. And it has to do with a snowstorm. So we've been here about, oh gosh, when did we move here? 1990. Yeah. So I keep looking in the wrong place. When we moved here, we were here a couple of years, because when we moved here, my oldest wasn't school age yet. But by the time my youngest came along, in kindergarten, they used to have at our local school a mommy and me day. And so myself and one of my other neighbors went down for our kids, Mommy and me, we went down, because it was half-day kindergarten back then. And our kids were in morning session. I went down, and while we were at the school, it was supposed to snow that day, but it wasn't supposed to snow that much. While we were down there for our Mommy and me morning, they decided to close school because it was getting really bad. It was like inches per hour or something like that. They cut Mommy and me a little short so that we could all leave, all the parents could leave in kindergarten, then they get the buses in. And I went into the office to sign out, and my neighbor was with me, and we had our little ones. And the office secretary looked at me and she went, "You have blah, blah, blah neighbor, you have blah, blah, blah neighbor, and you have blah, blah, blah neighbor in your car because we cannot send the bus up your road." And I was like, okie dokie, because I had a minivan and we could fit all the kids in. And so the thing about our road is you are not allowed to bring a bus up this road. You cannot. We had a little thing last year where a bus was coming up from the VOTEC, and all of us had to call and say, it is not safe. Our road is too curvy and too narrow. We actually have a line down the road, but the line is actually, they told us, to help out in the fog. It's not that it's a 2-lane road. It's not. So all of the kids always catch the bus up the road at the stop sign because the bus has to come over the mountain. It cannot come up the road. So got the kids. My neighbor is with me. All the kids are in the car. I have to strategically figure out how to get home. Tried to get home up our road, and we couldn't get up the road. The van just, I had no 4-wheel drive. The van just was not going to make it. So if you go around, it's not around the block, but if you go around to the other main road and come up the other side of our mountain, it's not as steep as our road is. So I knew the traction would be okay, and it was a gradual incline. But when we got up our road, there had to be like 6 inches on the ground. And I was like, kids, I'm not stopping, like full stop, man. We're just gonna have to. The kids were in heaven. They were like, this is so cool. And really, I had a car full of boys and one girl. So like they were all like, yes, no school. And it was a nail biter. My side of the car was completely fogged up because I must have been like gripping the wheel and heavy breathing, and my neighbor completely clear because I think she held her breath the whole ride home. But we got home, we got up the road, I slowed down, the kids got out at my upper neighbor's. The neighbor I had with me, she was parked at my house, and then I had one other neighbor's little boy, and she met me at the driveway and got him because I also had a problem one time when I backed out of my driveway. I couldn't get back in. She didn't want me to drive down to her house because she knew I wasn't going to be able to get up the road. Between my house and where my neighbor lives is so steep that, and this is another part of the campfire story. One morning I backed out of my driveway to bring the kids up to the bus stop, and they had plowed, but it was still too icy. And I backed out of my driveway and I couldn't get up the road. So I had to back down to my neighbor's house. She had 4-wheel drive. I had to go all the way down the mountain. Saw the sand truck coming up. So I waited for him. I got not real close behind him, but I was following him up our hill to get back home. And he broke down. So I had to go all the way around the way I just told you about, which is probably about 10 minutes more. It's not that close to my house. It's like all the way down the highway and up the other end of the mountain. So anyway, we got the kids home safe, Mommy and me day. And yeah, we don't do that anymore. They close the schools now. They don't take that chance if there's going to be some kind of nasty, heavy snowfall because of our change in elevations here. they could be getting rain down there and we could be having snow up here, and the buses still have to come up. So, but it was lucky for them. I was down at the school and I can bring the kids up here home. And that's my campfire story. Yep, mommy and me day. All right, that's it. 49 minutes. Wow. Okay, I guess I better get busy so I have more to talk to you about next time. So take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay cozy, stitch, and I will see you in 2-ish weeks. Bye.